Have we got it? Yay, we're in. Gremlins. Can everyone hear me now? I'm open. Cool. Sorry about that. All gets too technical for me this lot sometimes. But yeah, today it's been a really busy Sunday. I've washed my own windows, my own fascia softs and gutters. I've washed the van inside and out, done all my poles, fixed a couple of things, re-cleaned out the 45-litre trolley from the Aldershot job, and yeah, it's been a busy day. Normal thing, turning stuff around, but back at the week again. Yeah, just like to say to, all right, Neil, Tower Pro Clean, Matt. Thanks everyone for telling me no sounds. Cheers, Bolton, Mark, GG, Too Deadly. No sound, just music. Yeah, Mike, Gremlins all over the place. Dawn's sounding great this week, much improved. It's just me not talking, but another 50p in a meter. That's got to be comment of the year, I think, from Nelly. So yeah, it's been a mad day, and it's all done now anyway. And then just another week at work, innit? Just gonna have a bit of Pepsi. So we've got 15 people watching right now. Sorry, so that's cool. But yeah, I know a lot of people have seen me video. I think it was yesterday. I managed to get out. Took all day editing. I didn't have like the best of footage on there from the Aldershot job, but I was more concentrating on the job than the filming, to be honest, and just trying to do stuff on the chance I could get a vid out. But yeah, it was a good couple of days down in Aldershot. Glad I got it done. It's nice to do something different, feel pushed outside of your comfort zone, just to see if it's something you can actually do. And you do these sort of jobs and you'll get another job out of it later on down the line, which is how I got this particular job in the first place anyway. So I've just seen some more comments coming in. You alright, View? Pure window cleaning, mate? We get a lot of problems on here and everyone just laughs at me. I always mess things up. Welcome to the live anyway. We just all have a chat, just get involved really. And that's why I thought, because of my job that I did in Aldershot, and I got that, been asked to quote all them blocks of flats. There's 128 people, students basically going to stay in there. Oh, okay, Matt. Yeah, no worries. How did I get the job? I haven't put the quote in yet, Nelly. That's something I've got to do this week, so I'm going to try and get some help. I'm going to speak to Xline, try and get some advice, and especially about polls and things like that, and kind of weighing my options up really. 124 miles it was for me to drive from my house to Aldershot. I worked the day there, overnighted it in a Premier Inn, and then finished off on the second day, and then drove all the way back. And yeah, that was Friday night. M25's not good, but it was worth it with what I got paid. But going back to yourself, Matt, I'm trying not to name any names here, but a couple of years ago, a friend of mine from my military days got in touch with me, and he was just saying that he's got a good friend from the military days as well. And his wife does a lot of cleaning, got her own cleaning company basically, and she needs a window cleaner. So he basically thought of me. So I got in touch with the lady, and I went down to Aldershot for a day's work. It was a block of flats, and I cleaned all the outside windows and inside as well. And I used all the water that I had. So we got that right down to the last drop, but pretty much. And then from that, come this job. That was 2 years ago. The lady got in touch with me just over a week ago, basically, nearly 2 weeks now. Would I be interested? There's another 2 jobs coming up. They're both 2-day jobs. I said yes, and then she got in touch quite late in the week last week saying there's a last minute job come up, blah blah, and I said yeah, I'll do it. She done all the organisation, she puts all the bidding in, just told me how much it is, and I just said give me the postcode and the time and I'll be there, and that's basically how I got the job. So so I just seen your comment, mate. Did an assault corsair in another life, not the military. But yeah, it's I don't know if anyone's from Aldershot. I don't know if Jordan's on here because he's next para guy. But I've spent a night on the piss in the Trafalgar Inn. Sorry, the Trafalgar Inn or the Traf. And I got to sleep upstairs. And I was with a 2-para lad there. He took me and some mates out round Aldershot, just reliving some of his times there, really. And yeah, and this was basically where I was working, was right next door to it. So I did laugh when I saw it. And that was like 20 years ago that night. But yeah, that's how I got the job. I remember you saying something about Aldershot, Matt, and I couldn't remember what it was. It's starting to change there because they've been knocking down. That's the first job I did there a couple of years ago. They basically knocked a load of married quarters down and they've built up loads of flats. So there's a lot of work, I think, been going on the last couple of years in Aldershot, 2 or 3 years, maybe more. So it's getting redeveloped, and the bit I was doing is like in one of the shopping centres that they've got in there. It's quite a big place actually, in Aldershot. So yeah, that's how we got the job. And the guy that was overseeing everything, he was the guy that was overseeing the first job I did as well. So hopefully there's another one coming up soon. But I'm sure I'll get the nod. And the lady, bizarrely, as I was driving to Aldershot, the lady that organised it all, she was coming up towards near where I live. So she's in Cambridgeshire, and then she'd noticed my address. So she said she's going to keep an eye out for work for me as well in that area, so it's more local to where I live. But I said I don't mind driving to do something like that. I mean, the money was good. And I don't know how she gets it. You know what I mean? If I quoted it when it had probably been about 20 quid or something. But yeah, it was good. It was no problem. I could have finished that job way early, but the problem is, as you probably saw in the video, I was getting lots of other people coming round, messing up what I'd cleaned, and I was having to re-clean it. So I was just going backwards and forwards, or waiting for them to finish what they're doing before I could clean it again. It's kind of like that, but you just get going, don't you? It's what I was saying to people as well when they're trying to apologise to me. I said, look, don't worry, I've got to re-clean them anyway, because nothing's going to be clean the first time you clean the window anyway. So I was going to have to go back round. But it was all done, all come to the end, and the guy was happy with what we'd done. So I haven't let the lady down, which is not what I do. I wouldn't walk away from there till everyone's happy anyway. It's a long way to go back, innit? So hopefully, yeah, hopefully another job. And then you probably saw in my video, a friend of the guy, I suppose, on that particular project, come and ask me to quote some flats. Like I said, they're student flats above the shops, the shopping centre. And it's not all of them, it's just part of them, but it's still a lot. Probably over 200 windows, I'd suppose, altogether. And he's asked me to quote for that. He's got 2 quotes. One of them's off an abseiling team, which is sky high. And he said the top 2 floors of windows, they're getting a quote off them to do them ones. And I suppose they're looking for a waterfed pole to do the other one. So the overall job's cheaper. But I think he's hoping if I can reach most of them and they just get the very top ones done by the abseil team, even better. So I've got to work things out basically and put a quote in. Sounds like it's going to be cleaned twice a year. And yeah, I've never cleaned anything that high before. Sorry, Dawn, just seen your comment, mate. Yeah, I had enough water because I took down the water I normally have for my window cleaning down in the van. But Matt had told me as well that there's a spotless water actually in Aldershot. I knew there's one in Guildford from the last time I worked down there. And it happened to be pretty much just under a 5-minute drive from where I am to spotless water. So after the first day, we filled up that night. And then during the second day, I just had to refill up near the end. And I still had half a tank of water left over actually. So probably Yeah, I spent nearly 40 quid, £38 something, £38 13p I think it was, with spotless water, and still come away with water in my tank. So it's handy if you get these jobs and there's a spotless water nearby, because that is one thing you worry about, is like, you know, the water, you're going to run out, aren't you? So yeah, it worked out good there, mate. And it was quite straightforward, spotless water. It's really good. I got one of their key fobs. It was easy to use. Although I think someone played a trick on me, because they put the, you know, like when you're filling up with fuel, you can stick the handle down and lock it in place. So as soon as I lifted up, it was squirting water everywhere. And I hadn't pressed it in, it was like that. So it must have been some kids messing about or something. Did make me laugh though, and it didn't get me soaking. Matthew was laughing, he thought it was funny. So yeah, spotless water, brilliant. Easy to use, and it was good. Yeah, I did have to stay over, mate. We was looking for a Premier Inn. There was one actually very close to where I was working, but that was booked. So we ended up going to Fleet, which was a 12-minute drive away. Right by the train station. There's a kebab van and a pub opposite. And on a Thursday night, it was £1 off for cask ale beer. So I had a couple of them. More than a couple. But yeah, it was good. It's nice. And then we started on the second day early. Just got there for 7:15 and cracked on. And I think the building got handed over yesterday, Saturday. And there's a mayor coming to open it up on Monday. So that's why it was all kind of like last minute, and different tradesmen all over the place and messing up each other's job. And then there was a clean-up team going round. And obviously I was doing my bit. But yeah, it was good. And I got paid as well Friday night by the lady. She paid me really quick as well. So honestly don't know how she does it. I'm going to find out anyway, trying to put this quote in for this big block of flats. Like I say, 128 flats in there, all for students, cleaned twice a year. They're looking water-fed pole. There is a hotel as well. I forgot that job. Like I said, you're 5 minutes away from spotless water. If I get the hotel right close by, I could pretty much walk there, but obviously I need my van. And you're right in the town centre. So yeah, I'd do it. Just got to work out, is it worth it or not. I did ask the guy, like, do you want any RAMs, risk assessments? And it's like, what are RAMs? And I was just trying to explain, look, I'm just self-employed. I don't do RAMs or risk assessments because we're under 5 people. And all he said is, you're just going to cone off the areas, all he said, and just clean. So I was like, okay. He was telling me, like, he's the management for that particular part of the building or the complex, and the council, they're going to pay for it. He just said, I've just got to put the bid in to get the budget to do it. So I said, even if I'm not going to do it, I'll just put the quote in if it helps you have a third quote, because obviously he's got deadlines to meet, I suppose, and just see what happens. And then it's what made me think about this live, was like, I just wondered, has anyone done water-fed pole at these extreme heights? I have been going to the gym, so I did think I'd do it. It'll come in handy. But I've never cleaned anything at that sort of height before. I suppose it's 7 stories for the highest window, and then most of them are 6 stories. Yeah, I think this building's actually up and running, this part of it, and it's got students and all that lot in there. And like I said, the guy's like management, and he seemed all right, because he'd on the phone to a window cleaner from Fleet, and then he saw me cleaning, so he thought I was the guy I'd been speaking to. I did tell him I'm from 3 hours away, so he went, oh, don't even put a quote in. And I was like, well, show me what you want to do and I'll have a look. So he's like, yeah, if you could, just put it in. And he's kind of like chasing me up near the end, so I think he's keen. And yeah, that's what I thought. I think I'm going to need a 70-foot pole. I reckon 60, but 70 might as well get it. I mean, you got that bit extra. Never cleaned with anything that high before. And then I wondered, what sort of gooseneck do you need? Things like that. I've been looking about. I'll just try and show you actually on the X-Line website, because I've got an X-Line pole anyway. So I think I've got a couple of options really. One of them, because I like this pole, is what I've got, super high mod carbon. It's the nano pole. And I've got a 35-foot pole anyway. But if you get the, you can probably see here, well, I hope you can see it all. The 70-foot one is £2,250. Yeah, I know, it's a lot of money, mate. Yeah, £2,250. What are those, Nelly? It's the other option is, well, to get this, because I'm thinking if I'm going to get more jobs out of it, I'm going to need a bigger pole anyway. Or the other option is, if I can see where I'm going, use what I've already got and just buy the extensions to go on there to make it into a 70-foot pole. I don't know if I can see, where's it say? Here we go. This is the one I want. Gets confusing with X-Line. Replacement poles, is that the one I want? Yeah, for the nano. And then basically you get the drop down option there. So my pole was originally 25 foot. I strip it down to 18. I brought a section to make it 30. Then another one to do a 35 section. So then I'd have to go here. It gets confusing, but I don't want section 2, say the 40 foot. I want the last section. And that's £210. Thanks, Rachel. Got a cup of tea. That's £210 just for that section. And obviously worked my way down. I think I've worked out if I buy the extra sections to go on my pole, it's basically going to cost me £1,300 instead of £2,250 for the 70-foot pole complete. But then the problem is, what's Matthew going to use? He's only got a 25-foot pole. I was thinking if he had like my 35-foot pole and then I had the 70-foot pole, I can do the really sort of high ones down to the level that he can't reach, and then he can do the ones below that. So there's two of us working. That's what I was thinking. So I'm just going to catch up on the comments. Yeah, I just wondered what you meant by that, 60-foot modular. Do you think, like my idea, where I just buy the extensions on my pole and I just strip the pole down to what size I need it? I had thought, will you need a brace for like the high pole work? Someone left a good comment about belay glasses, actually. Yeah, Matt saying the same thing. Special harness. So you're using a 75-foot gardener pole made up from extensions. Beast of a pole, 4 years old. Used 2 jobs per month, not missed a beat. So it's earned its money back, hasn't it? And if you need a beastie pole, you've got it. Yeah, something else I was going to ask is obviously that sort of height. It'd be a bummer, wouldn't it? That's one thing I'm worrying about, is driving all that way to then find you can't work because of the wind. So I've never done anything like that. Like I say, my 35-foot pole is the highest I've used. Yeah, and I was looking at some gardener poles as well. And it was the ultimate high reach. I didn't know if that was the one, because is that the one that goes up to, I was looking, it goes up really high. Yeah, it goes 74 foot. And the bottom section of the pole's insulated against electricity. So again, I'm thinking there's no electric cables around that building, so I'm all right with that regards, but somewhere else you might have. And when you've got something wobbling, maybe something like that might be better. But the price is £3,230 plus 20% VAT. Whereas, The X-Line one, like I said, is 2,250. I don't know if that included VAT actually. Probably not. Can't see the price actually. Normally when you've selected something, it comes up with a price. Here we go. £2,250, and I wonder, sorry, I'm just gonna get rid of that. Can I add it to the basket? So if I add it to the basket, I'm just thinking, oh, what's going on here? Sorry guys. I've got 4 of them now. So I'm just trying to view the basket. I'll be with you in a minute. It'll be £2,722.79p if I was to order the pole. Again, this is something I've got to think about. But all I'm thinking about is I'm going to get possibly other jobs, and then I've got the pole. Like I said, I got another job that I did similar, and my 35-foot pole didn't reach some of the windows they're asking me to clean. But when I spoke to the guy, he said it doesn't matter. They're focusing on the low stuff anyway. I just didn't feel good being in that position. So I was thinking of buying some sections anyway, but then obviously this possibility for this job come up. But yeah, I totally agree with you on that. It just depends. If I got the quote, that's what's got to go through your head when quoting it, is you're traveling, your time. I'm going to lose a couple of days or a day's work anyway, what I'd normally do to chase the bigger money, aren't you? And then the hotel, fuel, which I probably already said, and water from Spotless Water. And I've not done something like that before. So it's all things that got to go through my mind and put within the quote. But if I say done the job, done it for a year, so 2 times, and it's paid for everything, then that job's paid for that pole, and I've got it there for any other time. And plus, what I was thinking is, well, when you've done these sort of jobs, you've gained the experience, and then you can also kind of see what money people charge. Obviously, for me, the last job, I'm seeing what I've done a job and someone's got me that money, so I can kind of see what is possible. So then you sort of learn about, I can quote more than that for that sort of thing in that scenario. So that's why I want advice for this. And yeah, hopefully just see what happens. If I get it, I get it. It's not monthly, mate. It's done every 6 months. So yeah, it's going to be like a first clean all the time, innit? Dawn's just saying commercials very finicky. They generally get 3 quotes. Yeah, and I know they're going to go to the cheapest. Yeah, that's what I was saying. You've got to factor everything into the job. Sorry, now I'm just catching up on these comments. The Ultimate 46 is the biggest pole. I'm not sure. I'll have to have a look on all that. That's what I mean. I'm going to have to go around getting advice. Yeah, that's another point. Like I said, the council are paying for it. They're going to give him the budget. But yeah, there's a lot of things got to go into this. But you know what I mean? if you don't try something, you're never going to learn, are you? Even if I don't get it, it doesn't matter. It's just the fact you learn the whole process. It's just funny when you think you've had that, like I said, survival month where I thought I weren't going to make it through the month and I was finished. Then this job's kind of like landed on your lap. And then while you're there doing it, someone's come and asked you to quote this massive block of flats. It's just crazy how it works, isn't it? And the other thing I was thinking as well is that just after it being cleaned every 6 months, and I bet you then after it being perfect, it's just they want the cheapest way of getting the windows cleaned twice a year. So someone could go in with like a, to them a low quote, but they do a really substandard job. And isn't that what some people are saying? Like Sophie, my daughter's saying, where she's working in the care home, the window cleaners come there and they are splash and dash, and they're working out of backpacks. So it's obviously someone's paying someone hardly any money to do something, but the home don't care. They're happy. They're just ticking a box. The windows have been cleaned. Do you know what I mean? It's weird, isn't it? Cuts the wrist. Just check the pole is up to standard. Yeah. I definitely do want hot water. So, yeah. There's a lot to think about. And that's what I was thinking. If that job was done and I got it twice a year and it's paid for that, it's paid for the pole, which is the other thing I'm thinking. Plus, when you've done one job, he might have somewhere else that he manages and he's like, yeah, I've got another job for you. So work comes free work as well. These are all the things that are spinning around my head. And I suppose your attitude goes a long way, innit? It's just, you just turn up and you're willing to just knuckle down and you get it done till the job's done. That's why on these sort of jobs, I would get someone to go round and check and tell me they're happy. I wouldn't leave. It's like the job I did in Aldershot. I'd find the guy and walk round with him to say you're happy before I leave. I wouldn't just clean everything and do one. I'd always say bye sort of thing and make sure they're happy, because like you're saying, it's a long way for me to go back. And that's just not how I do things anyway. So it's like getting someone to sign the job off, and then that's not on me then. So it's things like that. Like Nelly was saying to me about put your payment terms in there, and I could do stuff like this. If someone goes around and checks what I've done and they're happy. So it's kind of like on them. They're cool. It would make sense if you're local, but I bet you, funny old thing, that they've asked local window cleaners and a lot of them aren't interested, and it's probably because they're too busy anyway with their domestic rounds, and they've seen the height of it and think, I ain't doing that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Nelly. Get someone to sign off the work, and then the onus, it's on them, not me. So yeah, that's why I think, because when he saw me and he realised I was 3 hours away, he was trying to say don't bother, and I was just like, look, I'm stupid, I'm crazy, I do silly things. And then so he's like, yeah, okay. And he was impressed with what I'd done for the other bloke. Yeah, he liked what we did. So it's yeah, I just don't know. Other things I thought of is obviously it's the window cleaning, as well as having a longer pole. I believe you need a wider brush. So like what Matt uses, say the 35cm brush. It sounds weird because you're putting something that's heavier than a smaller brush on a larger pole, so at that height you're going to feel it more. But I believe while it's on the window, it gives you more stability while you're cleaning as well. So I don't know if you need a larger brush for a larger pole working at height. And also goosenecks, that's what I was going to talk about as well. So I just seen this, hi mate, thinking of getting an electric reel now, and I've been looking at the X-Line. I haven't had any issues with mine, mate. I've had them nearly 3 years now. It's they were making some funny noises a couple of weeks ago, but we basically just squirted WD-40 in there while we're using them until it stopped making a noise, because we didn't know, you couldn't pinpoint the noise, so we just put it on anything that was round, used it and worked our way around till, and then it stopped, and we haven't had any issues yet. it's a good point, because this is something I was thinking of a video. Is I was going to ask down at X-Line for advice on how we should look after electric reels, because they're a cost and they're not going to work forever. They're going to have wear and tear. So is there anything we as a user can do, like when we use your window cleaning poles, how you maintain them? Is there a way of maintaining the electric reel? But yeah, no, I've got no problems. They're a lifesaver. Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about, Nelly, so I'm just going to try and find them now. I was looking at their goosenecks. Carbon goosenecks. And let me try and get something else up on here. Excuse me. Yeah, I was looking obviously with the X-Line ones, but I wasn't really going for them. It's just got choice of 7 or 12 inch goosenecks, and it doesn't say what angle they are, but I'm guessing they're 45, so I didn't like the angle of it. Whereas the Gardner ones I was looking at, you got 45 degree and you got 55 degree ones, as well as different lengths. So I was guessing you're going to need a 55 degree one for the higher you go. And it does state on their website, where is it? It did say a height, I think it's something like above 30 foot, but it can be used below. I've seen it somewhere else. So that's something I was thinking of, like a carbon gooseneck, 55 degree. It's fixed, you can't change it. These are fixed as well, but it doesn't say the degree angle on it. So I was thinking more of something like this. And someone said on one of my comments as well that get a 90 degree one. And I guess the reason why you want like a different angle on your gooseneck, so like 55 degrees or probably more as well, is because if you didn't, you're going to be standing the other side of the road with your pole at a funny angle, and you can't, so you're going to have to be closer to the building anyway, so you're not standing out on the road and all that. And it's probably easier to control the pole, but it's harder to see. And that's why someone was suggesting, I'll just have a look for them, belay glasses. Belay fingers, no, we don't want them. Oh, yeah. So I'll come to some comments in a minute. Yeah, these belay glasses. So I think the idea is you obviously wear these, and it saves you tilting your head all the way back too much to look up. So it's going to save your neck more. See if I can find a better picture somewhere. I think I had better pictures like on Amazon when I was looking. But yeah, I thought belay glasses is a good shout. Here you go. So you can see the idea, just wear them glasses, but instead of leaning your head back, you get to look up at those like higher windows. Hopefully that kind of like makes sense. So just going back to the comments. Yeah, Mark's is saying you'd like an electric reel. But you don't trust working with the back doors open. And you don't fancy having a hole in the floor for the hose. Yeah, I've got holes in the floor, so I've got roller guides. So I just put my hose through the bottom of the van, close the doors, and I can lock the van that way and work with it. When I'm not near the van and near somewhere dodgy like Wiz Beach or in the high street and not near your van like I was doing in Aldershot, we just locked the van up. So it was worth that. And I suppose that's that's one thing you'd be scared of buying a brand new van, because you're going to bolt things in it and cut holes, aren't you? Whereas if you've got a bit of an older van, it don't matter. But yeah, I get what you're saying on that one. Oh, Matt, yeah, you're talking about the carbon fibre goosenecks. Yeah, I've seen a lot doing external hose on the outside of the pole. Yeah, that is something you got to think about as well. It's the journey home, and if you're knackered up for the rest of the week. Yeah, electric wheel DIY, 3 years, repair yourself. Squeaky Clean Dave, didn't he? Did a video where he made one, and it was really fast as well, because I did think of that. Oh, okay, so he's just saying there, Mark, as well. You've probably seen it on Matt's video. Sometimes he closes the side door, and I think bottom left-hand corner is in the latest video done. You can see he's closed the door with the hose still sticking out. Oh, right, okay, mate. Yeah, someone suggested it, and I thought that's obviously because they know what they're talking about. You alright, Jack? Yeah, they the ones that Pure Freedom used to do, the Real Master ones, before they've been took over by Window Cleaning Warehouse. Because they're absolutely got to be the best ones, yeah, going. I mean, I did my back in 3 times in 1 year, and I couldn't work for 2 weeks. Well, a week I was driving the van, and then the second week I was trying to walk, see what I could do and get back in, so I didn't pull my back out again till I felt I could work again. And that was through lifting up my flipping hose reel, because it's on wheels, and I used to lift it in and out the van and connect it to the ports underneath your van. And so if you're doing 20 window cleans, you're lifting that in and out 40 times. You're not always stood correct for manual handling because you're always in a rush. And also when I was lifting my ladders, because that's how I used to clear out all the gutters, you having to hold my ladders sideways. They weighed just over 20 kilograms underneath arches and washing lines. And I think in combination of all that, just my muscles went in my back. It's what I was pulling. So that's why I thought, sod it, I'm getting a loan. I'm going to get a gutter vac system and going to get electric reels. And I found them really good. Oh, right, Tony is a friend from when I was in the military who was good friends with someone else whose wife was doing a lot of contract work, doing clean-up jobs of new flats. And I think to help her get one of the jobs, that they needed a window cleaner. I'm not sure if someone had let her down or something like that. And then my friend got in touch with me, put me in touch with the lady, and I just said, tell me the date, the time, I'll be there. Because they're the one putting the job together, and, you know, timelines change. And then from that job, I got this job, if that makes sense. Because they kind of like bared me in mind, something come up, and I was like, damn right, I'll do it. So that's how I got the job, mate. It's don't know if you know where it is, near the pub, the Trafalgar Inn. It's part of the shopping centre. It's called Union Yard. I think opposite is a big banquet hall that a lot of the Gurkhas were using, if that makes sense. It's near the Cineworld Cinema, basically, and they're redeveloping all around there. So, yeah. Your reel from Pure Freedom double stacks £3.50 to begin. £3.50. Wish it was £3.50. £3.50. Thanks, mate. Yeah, no, you just yeah, that's where it was, mate. Yeah, no, you just you say yes to someone, don't you, and don't want to let them down, and they've got me a good price. It's not me done all that. They've done far better than what I would have done. But the person who's got me job and the person I'm doing the job for, I don't want to let down. So you just kind of make it up, don't you, and go for it. You just say yes, and it's either going to work or it's not. But I obviously like to think I can do it. If I didn't think I could do it, I would not said yes, because I wouldn't want to be in that position of letting someone down. But no, they're all happy. It's all good. Got quite a few looks as well. People walking around the streets and that. There's a lot of people selling baccy that day on Saturday. There's about a team of 5 of them, carrier bags full of it. Wouldn't want to smoke that. But yeah, that's what I mean. If one of these jobs lands on your feet, it's amazing what comes out of it. It's like when you go to do a quote, and sometimes you're thinking, I don't want to, because you want to get home early or something like that. But then you go down to do the quote, and just by chatting to them, next thing you know, you've got 2 more addresses to go and quote, because they're going to, their mum and dad or their cousin or something like that. So you never know where one job leads, do you? Is that with the bags of baccy? Yeah, you never know where one job leads, and that's what I'm also thinking. This possibly, if I got the quote and it's worthwhile, and even if it just the job in doing it twice a year just paid for the poles, I've got the poles. So if anything else come up, I don't have to panic or think I need to buy bigger poles. I've just got a big pole that's going to cover everything. That's kind of what I'm sort of thinking. And again, this guy might be friends with someone else who needs a window cleaner who would do that sort of job, and then you're going to get another well-paid job out of it. That sort of thing, if that makes sense. As long as I don't get too many a month, because I'll be 50 next year, and I suppose you miss your chance if you don't take it as well, don't you? So yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking of. Poles, 70-foot pole, I think. A carbon gooseneck. Don't know what sort of degree angle you need, or will you need a couple of goosenecks, different angles, and then brushes. But I'm going to speak with Xline as well, get some advice off them, try and get them to look at it. And I don't want someone to do the homework for me. I want to do the work. I just obviously need advice of how to come up with a figure and to price it all in. No, you shouldn't underestimate residential customers. And yeah, I agree with you, because I've got some, they're not, I call them commercial jobs, but they're not like contracts. They're like industrial units, that sort of thing. They're nothing massive. But I've got them because you're cleaning a customer and they say, oh, I've got a business, do you mind quoting that? And I've got them that way as well. I think when people just see you working hard and doing a good job, it just goes a hell of a long way, doesn't it? Yeah, let's just chew the fat. I agree. So how's everyone else's week has been? All right, Mills Cleaning. Thanks for all your comments and stuff as well you've been putting down. So has everyone had a good week? I know the weather's been absolutely lovely. Seems to be everyone's been enjoying that. I haven't even looked at what I've got this week. Obviously it's going to be a full week window cleaning, and it's all normal houses. Looking forward to it. And I noticed a couple of days ago there's bumblebees flying around, so kind of showing me age. You're getting excited when I see a bumblebee, you know summer's coming. Don't want my tea getting cold. And also that Synergy Pro coming on that job was really good, and it lasted a long time. You probably saw me and Matthew using the 45 litre trolley. I made a pole up to be a sprayer. On the second day we had a problem, so did it the old fashioned way, where I just put some water in a bucket, put a certain amount of Synergy Pro in there, and we just dipped the brush in there. And actually we found that a better way to put it on the window than spraying it on, because we had the wind coming down the high street and the sun, so it sped us up there. And it's pretty much first clean, isn't it? So I rate Synergy Pro Clean, really good. I need to use it on a good job though, where it's proper health and green fascia surface and gutters, but I think it's going to decimate it. It's going to be good. Does anyone else use Synergy Pro Clean at all? It's £65, I think it is, with for 20 litres. It's getting cold quick. So yeah, definitely got a lot to think about, but I'm looking forward to this week. Yeah, I used to use Ubik 2000. No problems with that stuff. I think everyone's been enjoying the good weather. It's not too bad actually after doing the one we done. The annoying thing is you're dealing with different people coming up to you because you've got 2 or 3 different people trying to oversee these jobs, running around trying to get everything done. I just guess they see all sorts of people that come in. But I think when they worked out you're just going to get on with it, they kind of like leave you alone. But yeah, my shoulder's not too bad, mate. So you use a heavy duty degreaser liquid pack. I'll have to have a look on that, mate. So there's lots of different stuff out there, but they all kind of like do the same thing, or even just washing up liquid's good enough. What, my own house? No, I just did it because I needed doing. But yeah, I do. For me, mate, when I do fascia softs and gutters or gutter clears, what I do is I charge per meter, but I know some people charge per side, and I think this is something Matt was asking me to do a live about, because I think with everyone thinking about price increases, it's across the board, so they're probably looking at how to price gutters. So it'd be interesting to see, does everyone else on here sort of like who does pricing by the side, for example, 40 quid a side or whatever, or who does it per meter? Yeah, that's what I liked about Ubik as well. It's something you can put on and not worry about it too much causing any stains, that sort of thing. So it's good, and it is a multi-cleaner, isn't it? When you read all the instructions, the different things it can be used for. And Virusol was another one I liked using on conservatory roofs and that, and I've used it for cleaning inside before, especially when I've had people who have been smoking, because it's good at getting rid of nicotine. But thankfully they were sort of the jobs I was doing in my first year. I don't do them anymore, but I did it to learn. So I can see some comments coming up on YouTube, but they take a little while for them to come in on me Ecamm stuff. So yeah, Andrew just saying your price on the side, not the meter. It's just when I first started out, I did it per meter because like some houses or even bungalows, they have, like the house I live in has got gutters on all 4 sides of my building, and then it's not just the front and the back. So that's why I did it that way. And there's just such an array of different size houses where I live, it's a nightmare. Razor wash, I've never used that, and Fairy liquid for soffits, fascias and gutters. Like I say, they'll get the job done, don't they? I always have washing up liquid handy in the van anyway, it comes in handy. So you price per side as it saves time quoting, nothing worse than spending, being told you're too expensive. Yeah, after pacing and measuring everything up. Yeah, I'm per meter, like I said already, measure it up. And I did different prices for like second story and like ground floor guttering, because I found with the bungalows, I learned they might be smaller in height, but sometimes they're bigger in square foot on the ground that they cover, and there's tends to be elderly people living in there. I tried to price per meter a bit less because it was coming out too big, the number, so I adjusted it there. Sometimes just do the front if the money's tight for the customer. So kind of like split the job down for them, yeah. It's a good idea. It's like what we do when we do our quotes, we itemise everything and just tell them if it's too much, you can deduct parts of the job off, say similar to you, and then do them later. So you're £50 per side for gutter clearing and £50 for cleaning. And if they've both done, it's £100. Yeah, we do slightly less per metre than I do for the gutters, but my wife's saying we should put them up because the smaller houses tend to take more time than when we did the big house for the money you earn. So I suppose it's all the setting up and packing away as well, isn't it? So you got to. We've brought in a minimum charge for now after listening to everyone else. So I do a £50 minimum charge now for gutter clears. I think unless it's just a front only because it's an old couple, then obviously I'd let that by because it's going to probably be local to me anyway and I'm working in the area. So when I do a gutter clear, I have a gutter clear day. So my van's all turned round for doing gutter clears. I'm not that heartless. I'm a bit of a softie really. Always good to go measure and check access for water supply for your fascia subs and gutters. Yeah, mate, I found the Synergy Clean Pro good. Still waiting to use it. Yeah, no, I found it really, really good, mate. I love it. How we did it on that big job. In the end, I found the best way was just to, I've already said it, put some water in a bucket and then squirt in what you need for the right ratio of your Synergy Pro. And then we've just dipped the brush in. We wet the glass first and then quickly brushed it all on in the frames and then just started cleaning straight away to get it off. Because when you got your water on, it's going to make it soap up more anyway. And we're just having to do it that way because with the sun come out in the high street and with the wind, we just didn't want things to dry too quick. So that's just what we did. Plus there's a lot to do. Never deduct, yeah, always offer extras. So like increase your value sort of thing. Yeah, I found that Synergy Pro Clean, I like it. And I've still got most of it left out of the 20 litres as well. There was bits of cement on some of the sills and the windows. Luckily I've got from, is it Titan, I think, cement off. I've had that for about 3 years in my van, so I used that. It just basically helps dissolve some of the loose cement. But it's like other things, you apply it, don't let it dry out. So if it does start to dry out, just put more on. But we just put it on and used my cloth and tried to get it off straight away. That came in handy for a few touch-up places. But what you find with these, they're not after what your expectation is. You think it's going to be a lot higher than what it actually is. So I think that's why they're really pleased what you do. So I wouldn't have classed this job as a proper builder's clean because I've done some where they've been in right states, a lot worse than that. And I think the project as well is about 6 months behind schedule, I believe. Oh, for the Synergy, mate, on the instructions, it tells you to do 1 in 10 or 1 in 5 if it's stubborn, and to do 1 in 3 if it's fire damage. So like if you had black cladding, I suppose, with a lot of black stuff up it from a fire, they're saying 1 in 3. Yeah, so just to go over it again, mate, it's on the instructions. 1 in 10, I'd say for normal use, 1 in 5 when it's pretty dirty, and then 1 in 3 for fire damage. That's what it says. But it's bloody good stuff. It's from Pure Seal. You can have a look on there, and I'm sure they'll have the info on there for you to read. When you buy it, you get given a data sheet, and it's got other stuff on there, so you get all the gubbins with it. But you only get it once you bought it. You download it. And they told me to use it because it's obviously going to be CU PVC glass safe to use, basically. I haven't even looked at the weather this week. I take it's going to be good. I hope it's going to be good for the rest of the month. Is anyone going off to the expo? Oh, it's green, so it looks funny. With the green screen. I've forgotten who come up with the idea of meeting up before the expo starts for like a fry-up or something in the cafe nearby, because I've been there before, so I know where it is. Was it Nelly? I can't remember. And if anyone's new here, just look up on Facebook for the Window Cleaners Hub. It's something Matt, Neil, sort of like all moderating they've set up. So it's a place where we can just during the week chat away, or people can ask for advice, help, that sort of thing, or just general chit chat. Yeah, so it was you, Nelly, or Neil. Yeah, so is anyone going down there interested? It's looking the Window Cleaners Hub. We'll try and put it up in there and then set a date and a time, because there's people like Matt, he's got to drive up from Plymouth. So he wants to be there on time, not late. So I think just try and organise the place, the time, and we could just meet up there and then have a walk around the show. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing this seminars. I haven't got like a load of money to spend anyway. And then have a look around, see what's about. It's Morrison's. There we are, Matt. Cool, yeah, sounds a plan. I'm definitely going to go on Saturday as well. Like I say, I wouldn't mind sitting in some of the seminars, see what they've got to say, and then have a walk around in the afternoon. I'll probably buy a brush, to be honest, or something, but it's not going to be too much. And then it's a good as well to get to speak to the suppliers you buy stuff, but face to face, innit, and say hello. And yeah, I'm sure it's going to be busy though. So you're posting flyers tomorrow, Andrew, and you want 100 more houses. Do you know how many flyers you're posting? Because I know, like, when I did, like, in my village, I was amazed. I used to go on Royal Mail website where you can type in the postcode. So I'd work in every postcode for my village, and it would tell you how many houses are in there. So that's how I knew there's over 500 houses in my village when I first started up. And then, yeah, I just wondered if you know the area target and how many flyers it's going to be. Oh, it's too far for you, is it? Yeah, well, I don't know if I'll make a video about it, mate, but I'm probably going to try and find the uncleanables, and I'll walk in there. We could try it. It probably depends on the signal, because I use my action camera. I think when it's linked to your phone, you can go live, I'm pretty sure. Oh, Glasgow, yeah, that is a long way to go, mate. How's the weather been up in Scotland? Has that been nice as well? That's where my daughter Sophie now lives. Not in Glasgow, she's in Glenrothes. So I think it's about an hour away from Edinburgh. Well, you've got 5,000 leaflets you're going to do over the next couple of weeks. So I take it you're probably going out doing a little bit of window cleaning, and then you've got that time, because you're finished, to go around doing your leaflet dropping. Oh, DA Components, yeah. I did like the look of his brush, but I do like my X-Line brush, to be fair. It's not let me down. So I'll be after a bigger X-Line brush, I think. Just stick with Andrew. I remember doing leaflets. I quite enjoyed it, actually, going out. How are you doing it? Because how I did it, I used to walk up to the door, knock. If someone was in, I'd introduce myself, just ask, say I'm just building up a window cleaning round. Just wonder if you got a window cleaner. If I said yes, be polite, walk away. And if I hadn't, I'd say, would you be interested in a leaflet? And half the time, they just ask you to quote, or, you know what I mean, take the leaflet. And if they're not in, I'll just put the leaflet through the door. That's how I did it. Oh, next week's going to be cold, is it, up there? I just put them from the door, Andrew. It'd be surprising how long it takes, mate. If you got your kids with you and get them to help you, that's what I did as well. They got me more customers than I did. So how does it work in Scotland for you then, mate, because of the weather? Do you sort of like get a lot of lost days due to the weather? Because obviously it can be bad there, can't it? Or do you find it people happy for you to work in it, for example, because they live in it, you know what I mean? Because I did wonder if anyone does window cleaning up in Scotland. Do you sort of do pressure washing as well? Because it's something you can do if the weather's not too good. Not as in freezing cold, but as in wet. Yeah, you after hot water system as well? I am. I'd love to have one. Been wanting one for about 8 years. But what I like about it is the idea that with the blow features on them, I don't have to worry about putting a flipping radiator in my van and running around the extension lead and turning everything on and doing the opposite to go out to work. It's just kind of like runs itself. Yeah, I bet the winds were the worst. Does that mean no? A good point, I suppose. Everyone goes monthly on your rounds. Yeah, it'd be good to get out with the missus, mate, and do all that. So, have you been doing window cleaning long, mate? I mean, enjoy the quiet time because you'll get busy within probably a couple of years. You'll then be like wondering how you got so busy, like, and it'll just then start ticking over. You'll get there. It's just got to weather the storm, so to speak, and all the setbacks you get. I've had a lot of them, but I really enjoy it being outside, even if it is wet and windy. Half and half, fortnightly and 4 weekly. Right, I got you. Is that a common thing up in Scotland then? I take it because of the weather being the weather, like, that's what everyone kind of does? Or is that just the way you run it? Or is that what is quite common amongst the window cleaners up there? Because I completely understand it. I mean, when you look at window cleaning, when you look back, people did 2 weeks or every 4 weeks anyway, didn't they? With the old traditional, and I think, like, if you was in a shopping centre, you'd want your windows cleaned every 2 weeks. So I take it they get dirty quite quick. So, you know what I mean? It might not be a lot of money, but because you're cleaning it every 2 weeks, it's quick and easy. So then it becomes a lot of money because you can fly through them. Yeah. Have you seen that one with, is it Darren from Green Pro Limited, where he done that funny thing about your fingers and I've forgotten what you used to use to stick it through there. So if it did the letterbox come down, it's like on a plastic ruler or something like that, not his fingers. Ah, right, okay, nice one. That's pretty good when you've got customers been around that sort of long time, innit? You'll know each other really well. Makes the job enjoyable as well. And that's customer loyalty, innit? It just goes to show for the likes of myself and a few others. 9 years, nice one. So you're just looking to try and increase more customers, are you, mate? And get more compact work sort of thing. But yeah, it just goes to show, doesn't it? If you get this job right, it's a living. And it's going to stand the test of time for as long as your health is, really. So you can go out cleaning. You're going to be cleaning, aren't you? Best time of year to get work. That's what it was. Yeah, plastic spatula. It was funny on his video. So I've only had for 5 years. Oh, have you only had the round for 5 years, but the customers have been 20 years? Sorry, it's a bit caught out like I was with the old audio. So I'm also laughing. That's probably close to my prices now. That's what everyone else will be saying on here. They keep telling me I need to put my prices up, which I am in obviously this week. Because Matt asked earlier if I'd done my pricing, because I said I was going to send all the messages out by the end of the week just gone. But because I've been spending some evenings to and fro and working out that Aldershot job, and then it come up and I spent 2 days down there, I haven't. So by Wednesday, I want to get it done and then just send the messages out for me price rises. Oh, got you, mate. Yeah, so you've had it for 5 years, but the owner retired. Did you find then you had to put the prices up more into line? Because they were off. But then again, I suppose if someone's had it 20 years, by then they've probably got it really fine-tuned in, haven't they? And if they're going to sell something, they're going to try and have it spot on so they get more money for it, wouldn't you? So it's probably sound. But it's good to show, though, isn't it? It's just the work is there. Like I said, you've got all these people that might laugh at us as a window cleaner, but then they're losing their jobs and you're still out there decades later cleaning, doing the same thing. Happy as Larry, left alone. I like it. RC slowly crept him up. Yeah, it's what I've been thinking now with some of my prices, because we're going to put them up, but some of them are way underpriced and we can't just jump them straight up. So I said to my wife, we'll do what we've got now and then live with it, but maybe creep up the ones that are still under every year, and the ones that are about right still just do a price increase every 2 years, that sort of thing. So yeah, all right, so you got new flyers, new prices. That's good to hear. Matt was telling me he's gone halfway through his customers with putting prices up and he hasn't had one leave yet. So obviously the other half, it's got to go fine for him as well. 16 years, Mark. Wow. I mean, honestly, I'm glad I was in the military and what I did, but sometimes part of me wishes when I left school, I just started window cleaning and wish I'd been doing it since. I do like it. And plus, I'd probably be a lot better off and better at being window cleaning than what I am now, and prices and all that lot. I'm with you, yeah. I bet they're impressed with the difference. You're kind of worried, aren't you? Like, I suppose if you're converting customers over from traditional to, say, water-fed pole. But it's not actually that bad, is it? Especially when you say, look, clean it. If not happy, you'll come back. Yeah, it's always good to keep quiet in it when you're in that sort of situation, mate. But Jesus Christ, yeah. Flaming hell. There's someone worse than me. Yeah, it does help you stand out, and like I say, it advertises your work, isn't it? Doing a good job. That's what I thought. Because you get people walking their dogs, don't they? And when they see you scrubbing as opposed to being super quick, it kind of like, they're like, oh, hang on, can you come and give me a quote? It's stupid things like that, isn't it? Just being out there, being seen, goes a long way. Besides, finishing this lukewarm tea. Go back to Pepsi. So yeah, I've got to work on my prices again. Well, I've kind of already done my pricing out. It's just double checking everything. Using squeegee, so they just press a button and all it does is automatically send a message out. The new price as of 1st of April will be, and it'll also automatically adjust the prices. So I just press the one button once and it does it all for me, basically. Fingers crossed that's how it works. Otherwise, and then I'll probably spend about 2 weeks of no sleeping trying to put it back to right. Ah, you still do traditional? Oh, I got you. That's sad, isn't it? I was lucky because I just started straight away into water-fed pole anyway, and I had to learn all that. Then I learned how to trad because I was being asked to do insides. Oh, okay. So you do both as well. Yeah, and I've got 4 customers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 5. They're all next to each other. But one of them, they asked me to clean the windows, but their first question was, "Do you use the poles?" So I said yes, and they said, "Oh, no, thanks. We've had that cleaned before." And so I get what they were going to say, and I was new anyway. So I said, "Oh, they left the windows spotted today," and they said yes. So I said, "Okay, no problem." Because she said, "Do you do trad?" I said, "No, sorry." So I didn't do it then. But about 4 months later, they come out and said, "Could you clean our windows?" Because obviously the neighbours around them said I was doing an all right job. So I just said Nellie's comment, "Yeah, need a Guinness." And so it's kind of good to win around, but it was through obviously the neighbours saying that I do a good job. But it just goes to show you, isn't it? I suppose whether you're traditional or water-fed pole, whoever's done it before, if someone does something bad, it affects the next person that's going to try and get that job, for example, because they've been labelled the same way. And it's the same with anything, isn't it? But I think people just see and think they can make that money, but they don't know how to use the system, do they? Or the water. I think it's tap water, that sort of thing. Exactly, yeah. Slowly win people around, don't you? Just hold your tongue, bide your time, and you'll win people around. Just do a good job, that's it. Like I said, work leads to work, doesn't it? And then hopefully word doesn't spread too far, so it's all local work, if you get what I mean. Right, well, I'm sort of like running out of things to say. I don't know if anyone wants to talk about anything else. I know I've got a lot of things to think about. Just sorting out my final touch-ups on my price increases, make sure I'm happy enough with that. I've got to try and get in touch with Xline somehow whilst working, speak to them for some advice about this quote. I'm not going to sort of put my heart on it, you know what I mean? But if I got it, I'll just crack on and go for it, really. But just see what happens, innit? It's just a process as well. And like I say, you never know, one thing might lead to another. Yeah, I was thinking of making me 35-foot pole a 40-foot pole anyway. Just had a bit of extra room. I'm just about managed my 35-foot pole. And on about goosenecks as well. Some people saying use the longer goosenecks when you're doing stuff. I think Matt mentioned it on one of his videos so that when the pole bends it didn't hit the gutters, that sort of thing. Yeah, see you later, Andrew. I hope the leaflet dropping goes well for you, mate. Yeah, that's right. Don't be too greedy, but obviously don't be like me, too cheap neither. All right, cheers everyone. I hope everyone has a smashing week. Catch up next week, and yeah, look for the Window Cleaners Hub on Facebook page group. Try and catch people in there for any advice and stuff, and keep a lookout for a meetup. Yeah, we're all kind of like the same, mate, and there's people on here with tons of experience as well, but I think that's the one thing I like about being this window cleaning is people kind of smile at you when you're starting or you're going through a similar process to what they've already been through, because you're doing the same kind of mistakes, so they know you're going to be all right, I suppose, and that's why everyone's willing to give a hand as well. And I think that's really good. It's nice. I know I'd help as many people as I could. All right, catch you all next week. Take care.